Hey, and welcome to Confessions. I'm your hostess of light, Jennifer Watson. I'm an empowerment coach and motivational speaker, and my mission is to provide a safe space for you to step into the darkness so you can shine your brightest of lights. And that's what the show is all about. Tonight, we'll be talking about using our gifts for a higher purpose. You know, we're all born with unique gifts, but sometimes we lose sight of how they can really be used to help others instead of just helping ourselves. So when you think your gift, do you think about, hey, how can it make me money? Or how can it make me famous? Or do you think, hey, how can I use this to make a difference in the world? You know, once we step outside of what we can do for ourselves, we open up the door to living a much higher life purpose. So joining me to talk about this tonight is a very funny man, Tugboat Manny Erias. He is a stand-up comedian, but Manny has been relentless in his pursuit of his dreams without losing the connection to his heart. And it's an honor to have him on the show with me tonight. So welcome to Confessions, Manny.
Hey, Jenny, thank you for having me. I miss you.
I miss you too. How have you been?
I'm doing all right. I just putting one foot in front of the other and keep going. You know?
That's what we got to do. So a little backstory into how Manny and I met is that after years of dreaming that I could be on the stage or try acting and watching drama club people from afar, I finally enrolled in an acting class. And Manny here is my first and at this time only leading man. So it was a hoot to be on the stage with him and keep a straight face.
Oh, it's funny. Don't you love laughing?
Yes, I love laughing. And you were really good at it. You always kept that class on the road. So are you still doing that acting class?
It's about to start up again. And actually, no, it did start already. I'm sorry. It started January 27th, and I had to miss that class because I performed at the Mohegan Sun for the first time ever in my life.
Oh,
Yeah.
very cool. We're going to have to get back to that. That's amazing. You're really going places. We haven't seen each other in a couple of years, but, you've really got really rapid. So are you ready to bare your soul?
Absolutely.
All right. So let's get started. So you call yourself Tugboat Manny. Where did that begin?
It comes from when I was a deckhand on a tugboat for 5 years. We used to transport all different ports, all different types of petroleum products in barges the size of the football field, and all over the eastern seaboard, the Great Lakes, the Gulf of Mexico, Mississippi River. So I was a deckhand on a tugboat, and I worked in ocean-going tugs and I worked in harbor tugs around the cities. So it was a great experience, and I believe, and I cooked too. So I did everything. I would steer the boat, I would do the grub shopping. I would clean the boat, sanitize the boat. I would cook. I was low man and totem pole, but I would help out the engineer, help out the tankerman, help out the captain, the mates. It was a lot of fun. A great experience. It's it was like that big snowstorm that we had, back on January 22nd, remember? Or the 23rd, was it?
I don't remember because you're all in snow and I was still here in sunny California, but that's another.
I know. You're so lucky. I'm telling you, I went up and I think I ate all my Survivor food within the first 6 hours.
That's fantastic. So did you give yourself the name Tugboat Manny, or did somebody else give it to you and you took it on?
People would call me Tugboat Manny, like, yo, Tugboat. Yeah. And then I was on Facebook and I put up a Throwback Thursday picture. And one of the comedians that he mentors me a little. Well, not, I'm friendly with him. He gives me great advice, and he's been on late night TV and stuff. And he told me, he goes, that should be your name, Tugboat Manny. So that's it. That's my name. If you don't like it, I don't know what to say.
So when you were working on the tugboats, was that part of your Navy background, or was that something separate?
Totally separate. When I was a tugboater, it's called you're a merchant mariner. When I was in the Navy, I went into the Navy. I was a reservist, so I was Navy reserves, and I was a corpsman in the reserves. And it's pretty ironic you say that because I'm also part of a comedy veteran team called Veteran Comedy Assault through Project 9line. And it works on helping the veterans through all different arts. There's like 8 or 9 different things that they can do, and it's awesome. I'm on the comedy team. Used to host a comedy open mic at Patchogue at a place called On the Waterfront, and they were doing a veteran comedy class, and they asked to come down. I said, come down. So that day, because I was a naval reservist, they asked me if I wanted to perform in the veteran showcase. So I did, and it was awesome. It was great. And then right after that, the next week, I was performing for our homeless veterans at the Northport VA Hospital. And I saw the president and the vice president of Project 9line, and they said, dude, they're like, so many people are talking about your performance, and you want to be on a team? They're actually like, you're on the team. So I'm part of the team. And actually, they were a big part of helping me to get to the Mohegan Sun, because, my comedy career is going so good. I moved back into my mom's house,
I love it. So, I'm going to jump ahead. I had, a structure, but I'm going to jump ahead that, you're referring to what I was bringing up tonight, where you take your passion for what you love and you bring it to helping others. And, I know you as a very funny man, and so do your friends. You're always quick with your humor, but underneath there is a heart of gold, and you use that to help other people. I mean, I've seen your videos where you actually help a homeless man, and you do these veteran affairs, and you've even helped coordinate an event to help a sick friend with cancer. And you use your comedy and your networking to help other people. So what impassions you so much to combine those two elements together?
It's, I don't know. People ask me, they say, what do you, I've been this person my whole life, Jenny. I just, I don't know what it is. Maybe people are just finding out about it now. But I've been this person that you're talking to right now. But I always made people laugh, whether it's by imitating or whatever. And I always like making people laugh. And it feels good. And laughter is honestly the best medicine. It's, we all know that. And it heals. And there's nothing, I mean, I drive a cab part-time, a couple days a week. And because comedy's going so good once again. But anyway, I literally have to pull the cab over to the side of the road because we laugh so hard and I can't breathe. And it's like one lady was like, oh my God, Manny, you have to stop or else I'm going to pee my pants. She's in the back seat. I'm like, and I had to pull over, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna, but it, it's there. And the homeless man, there's many that I meet. It's just, that guy, I asked him for a cigarette. I don't even smoke, Jenny. I quit smoking in October in 2014. Plus, I gained 50 pounds. But anyway, he gave me a cigarette. You know what I did? I bought him a pack. I know I shouldn't, it's a bad habit and stuff, but it was unbelievable. And all I did is just sit with him and give him a French fry and stuff. And, it's amazing. People need help. We all struggle. I struggle. Everyone's struggling. Mm-hmm. It can't hurt to be nice or give a smile or make someone laugh, I know.
And to what you said, I know, cigarettes, quote unquote, a bad habit, but that's his comfort. You were providing him with comfort. So there's no judgment in what you did. I mean, that probably meant more to him than even the French fry did.
Yeah.
You cared enough. So, we need more people out there. And I want to touch base on something that you said about laughter is a healer, because it is. Because there's nothing worse. Like, how do you get somebody out of a funk? You just make them laugh.
Yeah, it's it. I joke around. I say I go to mental camp. It's part of my act, and I say the only reason why I go is because lunch is $1, so I bring $10. But the truth of the matter is I go. I'm part of 3 different groups, the Suffolk County United Veterans Association. I'm not a part of them, but they're all in the group that I belong with, mm-hmm. Project 9line and the Association for Mental Health and Wellness. And all they do is just help people. And it's just unbelievable what they do and the support they give me in my comedy, and also in life. It's a lot of good things going on, Jenny. And one day I hope I can get back really big, I'm working on it.
Well, it's always a work in progress, but the last couple of years, you've upped your game with the comedy and everything. What inspired you to finally flip that switch and say, like, hey, I'm going to go for this? Did anybody inspire you, or did something happen? How'd you get there?
Well, like I say, I've always made people laugh. This is a common question. I've always made people laugh as far back as I can remember. I've always imitated people, friends. And maybe I was a little shy at home and around family, but in that all passes. But I think it was December, like early 2013. My cousin's wife asked me. I lost my tugboat job, and she goes, "Are you going to be home in February, whatever, or something?" I said, "I don't know." She said, "Well, her little kid's, baseball team is having a fundraiser." So, long story short, I went to that fundraiser, and Rich Walker, comedian that we both know, he was telling a joke. He said, my wife, not my wife, my doctor thinks I'm a borderline, the way he said it, that, diabetic, and I couldn't stop laughing. And it was so funny. I laughed with him, the next comic, we all at the table. At the end of the show, I talked to him, and the guy talked me into taking 6 comedy classes.
Wow.
That's how I started. March 19th, 2013 is the first day I stepped stage on stepped on for a comedy, and then it's coming up on my 3-year mark now. And I'll share this with you. I'm not afraid to share it. My first year in comedy, Richie Minervini, the guy that helped launch Kevin James' career, called me and told me I was going to perform at the Borgata in Atlantic City. It was unbelievable. I almost dropped the phone. I was only a year in comedy, Jenny. You know what I mean? And everything's happened the way I wanted to. That never happened yet. You know what I mean? For whatever reason. And I'm friendly with them and stuff, but I don't bother him. I'm not one to hound people. I look at it as like, just like the Mohegan Sun, when I performed, they say, be so good that they can't ignore you. And that's my motto. That's what Steve Martin said. Whether they like you or hate you. And it's always cool when so far this year, I had 2 comedy club owners contact me to tell me they wanted me on their stage. So I'm not making a lot of money doing this. I'm not intended. That wasn't my intention to do this because I've been doing it my whole life. If I did, if I was getting paid for it, I'd be a quazillionaire right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's really, I'm enjoying the ride, and it's a lot of fun.
Good for you. So what kind of comedy do you do? There's so many different genres. Like, what is your thing, your focus, your area?
Oh, I do self-deprecation.
I do that on a daily basis. I mean,
yeah. I always like people that can make fun of themselves too, and that is huge in comedy. And the more vulnerable you are, that was what I learned day one with Peter Bales in stand-up university. He said, Manny, he goes, the more vulnerable you are, the better. So you know what? That's when I started saying, by the way, I take Paxil. And the class laughed. And I said, does anybody here not know what Paxil is? And they say and they go, no. And I say, it's an antidepressant. And they laugh. And I say, let's go ahead and do that joke again. And then they laugh, Jenny. And you know what? The more that I opened up, the more that people could relate. It's so much fun. And it's awesome. When I get off stage, there's police officers that come over to me. There's military officers that come over to me. They say, man, I take Paxil too, or I did this, or I took that, and I had struggled here. Or there's people that say, I don't take anything. And I'm like, you really should be taking something, or, in therapy and stuff like that. But, yeah, it's just, it's great.
I love that you said that. I just had a show with somebody a few weeks ago, and their topic was about trust and authenticity and being who you are. And there's such a power behind sharing your life experiences, because you hit the nail on the head. People are going through the same things and feel like they're all alone. But you poking fun at yourself about it makes people lighten up about their own selves and their own situations and be like, oh, okay, he knows what I'm going through. Oh, yeah, I feel like that. And just, oh, yeah, I can be lighthearted about it. So kudos to you for doing that and just exposing yourself like that so that people can relate. And I'm trying to step into it a little bit. I have this character Patty Pity Party where I reenact drinking in the tub, that life is horrible. And that was drawn from a place of reality for me. Like, I'm poking every time I have a pity party, I'm like, I'll grab the video camera and like, let's go. But people relate because people need to know that people understand.
Right.
And it's entertaining, but it's sharing part of yourself and that vulnerability. And like, I love that about you, that you're just like, hey, I'm going to make fun of myself because I'm actually making fun of you.
Yeah. It's funny. People relate, and then you got people that are afraid to say anything. And like I was that kid that was like, when I was, well, not kid, but I was 28. I was like, wow, I went to a psychiatrist, I went to a therapist, and I took medicine. I was like, wow, I can't tell anybody this. Mm-hmm. But now I'm standing on stage in front of hundreds of people, telling them my story, and they're applauding me. And they're there. It's so once I was this shy person with mental illness, say, and now I advocate for it. And my therapist at one of the places, she goes, you should be so proud of yourself. Mm-hmm. She goes, I help people like you, and I can't even get up and talk in front of people. You know what I mean? It's just, and I have anxiety. She's like, how do you get up there with anxiety? I said, I don't know. I just do it, and that's it, and it's the best thing I ever did. And getting pulled into the director of radiology at Naples Community Hospital, his office, and then he sits down, and I sit down, and he says, Manny, you have a gift, and you have a gift that people listen to you, because I used to work in the radiology reading room, and he said, doctors listen to you, like you have doctors from the floor come down. He's like, you got a gift, and he's like, just keep going. And that was like in 2000. And I always heard, Manny, you missed your calling, or, this or that. I don't believe any of that. There's no time. There's no time that you have to get married. There's no time that says, oh, you have to be a comedian or, join the military or whatever. They give you a time frame for that. But I mean, there's no time for, nothing's written down. It says, oh my God, you got to go to college and do this and do it. I listened to the great Alan Watts, and he said, and it's a great thing. It says, what would you do if money was no object? I recommend watching it, because I didn't get into comedy to make money. I did it because I love it. If I make a few bucks from it, then great for me. You know what I mean? I performed at the VA hospital at Northport one time, and I got off stage, Jenny. I'll never forget it. This big mountain of a man handed me a drawing, and it's on my Facebook page, Tugboat Manny, and it's a drawing of me. Actually, I like it a lot because it's me thinner. But anyway, it's great. He handed it to me, and then it's unbelievable, Jenny. It's beautiful, and it says, to Manny, thanks for helping me get through another day of PTSD. Jenny, the guy tried to kill himself 4 times.
Oh, man, Manny.
You know what I mean? There's no trophy. There's no award that will ever be better than that. People don't get it. That's what it's about, Jenny. This guy had tears in his eyes, and he was crying, telling me he tried to kill himself 4 times because he lost 200 and some odd people. And I said, think about all the people that you saved. And Jenny, he was crying. He gave me this picture. It's unbelievable. And it says, lots of love, brother. And that's what it's about. It's not about fame, fortune, or, money, or I could give 2 rats behinds for it. I don't care. I do it because I love it. And I like making people feel good. And I like feeling good. It makes me feel good. And these little stories, when you go to these fundraisers that you hear or whatever it is performing, there's a lot of magic behind it, because you hear the story of the person that died or what the reason is for. People think, oh yeah, go up on stage, Uncle Joe in the backyard can make everybody laugh. There's more to making people laugh. It's about being there. It's about taking a high road and forgetting about yourself and being there for them. And I remember one time performing for a woman that she lost her son. He was a veteran. He killed himself. And I took time to tell him, I said, you're doing damn good. You guys are doing damn good, and it's an honor to perform here for you guys. I didn't make money from that show, Jenny. I didn't make any money. Somebody else, they called me up. Hey, Manny, can you come down and perform for a fundraiser? You know, a new comic that we had a disagreement or whatever about later on. But he wrote on my wall, he said, you know, Manny came down, did his thing. And I remember standing up there, they were like, wow, this guy's like a headliner. Jenny, I was only a year in comedy, and the bar was packed. I didn't take any money. The guy's friend, his daughter, her brain grows, but the skull doesn't grow. And once I heard that, I said, I'm there. You know, it's bigger than what you and I can fathom, Jenny. You know? Clearly.
And here I am interviewing a comedian thinking I'd be laughing, and you have me crying right now. But it's touching because it's intertwined. Because you want to make them laugh because of all the pain. You want to bring them some relief. And it's a beautiful thing. You're a beautiful person, Manny. You really are. We need more people in the world like you.
I appreciate it, Jenny. And I've been this person my whole life. And I listen to, you know, Martin Luther King, you know, a couple times in my life. And he says, you know, I'm the biggest sinner. And I sit here and tell you I'm the biggest sinner. I'm trying to get my heart right. You know, I've heard people that have done bad things, you know, or mistakes, you know, and it's all about getting your heart right. You know,
you're human.
It's
all about being human.
Yeah. And I joke. I'm one of the funniest people I think in the world. You know, I'm not saying that for whatever, but I'm as double serious as I am funny. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's just a lot of fun to be me.
That's
I enjoy
awesome.
it. I choose.
Don't change.
Thank you.
Don't change. So we're coming up to the point of the show, the confession time. So you've revealed a lot about what you do for others, but you know, this show is about like talking about your own struggle and how you broke through and became an inspiration for others. And clearly you go on and do that. But is there a point in your life where you feel like was a turning point for you that you broke through and had a realization and, you know, just want to shed a little bit of light on?
It started probably my first year in comedy. You know, I walked through those doors and I walked out a different person. You know, I walked out feeling better, but I met this person, Darcy. I was helping her. She's a breast cancer survivor, and she started bosom buddies. I'm actually wearing, you know, and I met her once in an interview, and someone told me, oh, she's friends with Richie Minervini. That's the guy who called me the first year in comedy. And she's also friendly with Kevin James. So I said, who's Kevin James? And they were like,
Kevin James.
I know, I love him too. And they're like, you don't know who he is. And I was just messing around. So anyway, I was around people that I wanted to be around. And I saw that she posted on Facebook. She was looking for someone to hand out flyers for the Westbury Music Fair that she does each year. And she has professional comics coming. And it was the second year in a row I was allowed to be there, donate my time, help her out, and hang out in the back room with all these comics. But during that time, I was at my lowest. You know, I lost my tugboat job. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't feel good. My doctor's office knew I didn't feel good. They were nervous each time I came in. One of the nurses said, we were so worried for you. I hurt myself in that tugboat in the heat. And they say, oh, yeah, you don't feel good, so we'll just up your antidepressant. That's not it. I didn't feel good in the heat, you know what I mean? So you try to get back to being the person that you were, and you can't. You just try to be a better person, you know what I mean? But anyway, so I was hanging around Darcy, handing out flyers and this and that, and volunteering myself at the Gateway Playhouse where we take acting classes for the Haunted Playhouse, and I was doing all these things, and Kevin and Richie were performing at the Westbury Music Fair, and I couldn't go because I didn't have enough money, and I wasn't going to ask anybody. So I went to the Gateway Playhouse and did the Haunt, you know, and it was fun. But meanwhile, it was like one of those things where you're like, man, I wish I was over there. but I'm here, but I still made the fun of it. You know what I mean? And then after, Richie Minervini goes, Manny, where were you? You know, like, so, long story short, I was helping Darcy with the Jones Beach cancer thing. And I got there 15 minutes late. It was 6:15 a.m. And they unloaded the truck and she yelled at me. She goes, oh, you show up late, huh? So she's the breast cancer survivor. And so we hung out, whatever. And this hat that I'm wearing, you see that? I get people to sign it all over.
Oh, that's cool.
Joey Cola, Richie Minervini, Vicky Vitello, which and these are all people, you know, and that sign it. And I lost this hat that day. Obviously, she found it, but I called her up. I said, Darcy, I said, if anybody sees my hat, just let me know. Well, she calls me back right away, and she goes, Manny, I felt so bad about you losing your hat. I called Kevin James' wife, Steffiana, for you. I was like, what? She goes, yeah, I want to see you about an autograph or something. And she said, well, how about 2 tickets at Beacon Theater tonight? And she's like, you want them? I'm like, you going? And long story short, I walked into that room, and Kevin James goes, where are you from? How you doing? Where you from? I said, good, the same place you are, Ward Melville High School. And he was like, really, huh? And Adam Farrar was in there, his manager, Jeff Sussman, Richie Minervini, the guy who helped launch all these careers from the old East Side Comic Club, Darcy Novick, Kevin James' private security guard. And it was just so positive. It was the best day of my life. And started doing many things after, and I upped my game. I don't play around. I joke, and I'm a goofball. And people may think I'm mistaking my niceness for stupidity, but you're wrong, you know? And I just keep going forward, and, you know, like I share this with you. You know, I wasn't invited for Christmas to a certain family house, and it hurt, you know? Do I blame myself? Some, but there's both sides. But to be not wanted is one of the worst things in the world. So when I told the psychiatrist that, she dropped her glasses, put her pen down, and I'll never forget that, because she had me put my hands over my heart, and she had me repeat a bunch of things. But the only thing that I remember, because it was like a death telling her, you know, and she said, and I choose to be happy right now. And I was like, yeah. And I'll never forget that, you know. So I told my therapist, I said, I wasn't invited for Christmas. And she goes, well, Manny, you really shouldn't be surprised, because it's no different than your comedy career.
Oh, God.
But
Who's the comedian now, right?
You see what I did there, Jenny? I took something that hurt so much. Whatever. I'm going to get up and put, sometimes, you know, they talk about, what's hard. Sometimes it's hard just getting out of bed. Sometimes hard just to do one thing. And we have to push ourselves. No one's going to care for us more than we need to care for ourselves. Not to say that people don't care about us, but we have to be there for us too. I'm sorry if a lot of people tell me, they're like, Manny, you know, I get messages from time, not all the time, but they say, boy, you should be a motivational speaker. You should be a therapist. You should do this. Who knows what I'm going to do? I do comedy. I take acting classes. I took 6 comedy classes. I've been making people laugh my whole life. I've made mistakes. I'm here now, and I choose to be happy, and that's what I do. Try to do every moment, even if somebody cuts me off, or if my mother gets mad at me for eating her cold cuts, you know. So, you know what I mean, Jenny?
I know what you mean.
So when I met Darcy, I was in a dark place in my life. I didn't know who was there for me, who wasn't, and it's amazing. It's really amazing. You know, Darcy and Richie booked the Borgata. They called me up, hey Manny, I got, Richie and I got the Borgata. I was like, wow, that's so awesome. And right away, Richie's like, hey Manny, he talks like that. He's like, you're gonna be performing at the Borgata. I was like, I almost passed out. I'm only in comedy a year. But you have to prove yourself. Nothing is going to be given to you. People, some people are like, oh, I thought you would have performed in a Borgata already, and Darcy would have pushed you along because you. No, That ain't the case. Just because I'm friends with someone or friendly doesn't mean I just get something. It actually helped. It actually I actually have to work harder. You understand? It's unbelievable. People don't get it. So, and that Mohegan Sun, when I was performing, someone found out about me and they passed it on to the some bigwig or something up there. And then I get a response from the owner of the hotel or one of the owners that says, hey, whatever, blah, 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 this and that. Invited me to a spot. I'm not, I'm getting a few bucks for it. I'm Project 9 of Suffolk County United Veterans Association paying me for it, make sure I get there and stuff. Association of Mental Health. I mean, there's people supporting me, you know what I mean? And want to see the dream. And it's, but the dream is living it. That's what I'm doing.
Well, Manny, this has been an amazing interview. So before we wrap up, what is one final message you want to share with everybody?
Oh, man. Like the great doctor said, I'm a sinner, but I'm trying to get my heart right. And when it comes down to it, it's all about love. And I just want to laugh and have fun and just spread the love. Love is it when it comes down to it. That's what it's about. And, I'll talk about haters for a second. Jenny, they don't get it either because it just makes me want to do so much better. Hate me all you want because I'm just going to keep getting better. Be a better Manny. Spread the love. Be kind. Smile when you see someone on a Monday morning or when it's all great, when all the madness is going on, whatever it may be. Take a minute and smile. Slow down. Spread the love. That's what it comes down to. Love, Jenny.
It is what it's all about, Manny. Love. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. It was amazing talking to you. This was really a great interview. I appreciate you taking your time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just going to go make a cold cut sandwich right now. So,
well, you're going to hang on 1 second until I end this. And
all right.
Hold on, all right?
Awesome.
So to check out Manny, you can find him on his Facebook page, and he also has a YouTube channel and an Instagram account. And I'm going to post all those links in the video below so you can quickly access him and learn out more about him. And I'm Jennifer Watson. You can find me at www.jennifer.watson.me and at www.stopthepityparty.com. I do life coaching, astrological readings, and past life readings, so come check me out if you're interested in any of those. Tune in next week where I'm going to interview a panel of guests on the topic of twin flames just in time for Valentine's Day. So it's going to be a really interesting conversation. Tune in next week at 5:30. Thank you for watching this evening. I appreciate your love and support. Namaste and embrace your power.